back to another episode of the Blue Honor Vlog. I'm Kay Williams, author of OPDEC, Operation Deceit, Blue Honor, the Trilogia trilogy, which contains The Shadow Soul, Burning Down, and the upcoming release, The Lucent Rise. Today I'm going to answer a reader question, if Finn's going to let me. He's kind of pacing around and looking to be a bit noisy, so please excuse him in the background. You know, he is just a pup. So the reader's question today was, now that you're a mother, which I love talking about being a mom, do you think that will change any of your writing as you create new work? Are you getting more interested in certain themes or perspectives because of it? Turned away from some? As you know, in reading my books, a lot of the women in the books want to become mothers. And I think that kind of reflected my desire to parent, even back then. Finn just shook the camera. And I don't think that it's going to really create new perspectives, maybe a post wanting to become a parent sort of perspective, a more mother perspective instead of the prospective mother. I don't see me turning away from some either. It was a decision to have her on my own. So the single woman perspective will still obviously be there. He's going to keep shaking the camera. So I think that's still going to be contained in the books a lot, because that's where I'm coming from, and they always recommend writing what you know, which is a really good idea, because that keeps you, you know, kind of in that expert sort of focus, and you sound like you know what you're talking about, whether you do or not, and at least you're reaching some people with that, because you're not alone in what you experience. I do have the single mother experience now. She's going to be 2 very soon. And it's hard because there's no one there to really help me care for her. My parents, of course, live a bit of a distance from me. They will take her from time to time. They visit quite frequently. But the day-to-day, you know, working, commuting, taking her to daycare, and the costs on a single income, which isn't an extravagant income at all. You know, even with the books in there and selling the books, there's not a lot of income coming in, so please buy the books so I can pay for daycare. It can be a hardship, and it teaches you your priorities and stuff, and what matters in life. As much as racing dogs and stuff teaches you the importance of caring for someone other than yourself, and someone who may have special needs, like my dog Max. Rest him in peace. He has cerebellar hypoplasia and some other issues, and died from lymphoma at the age of 13. So that can teach you a great deal about caring for others, and emotional intelligence and self-awareness, and prioritizing things. And as much as you want to place you and your books first, you kind of have to start scheduling. Like with Katie, I often I don't do anything but take care of her when we come home at night. I get her from daycare, we come home, I make her dinner, we play, we reconnect, we decompress. I'll either give her a bath or just, you know, clean her up before bed, because, you know, you don't want to dry out their skin and their hair and stuff. They're too little for that. And she doesn't get very dirty at all. And so baths are not daily for me with her. And potty training, you know, that takes time and patience, and understanding, you know, outside of yourself. How do I teach? How do I communicate? Because she has a smaller niche of communication than a grown adult and stuff, so it's a little bit more difficult reaching her on on her level, but she's super smart, you know, as most parents think that their children are. She's super smart. She gets things, floors me, like, you know, the questions that fly out of her mouth, full sentences, where she was just babbling, you know, a couple of minutes ago. And that experience, I'm not sure how that will feed into the books coming in the future, because I do plan on continuing the world of Trilogia. The trilogy will be completed very soon with the final book, The Lucent Rise. And as you know, Captain Mael is the mother of 7, and she has mostly adult down to little babies, and mostly adult meaning like a 19-year-old. They're still pretty teenager, 19. They feel like they're full-grown adults. I remember feeling like a full-grown adult. You know, you're off to college, you're on your own, and pretty much in that book, Ian is. And you know, he lives there, but he's barely there because he's out with friends all the time. So really, I'm not sure. I'm not really certain how that's going to change. I guess I can't say it won't. That doesn't make any sense, right? The things that we learn and how we grow is going to influence the stuff that we put out in the world. So, as much as anything else, like the changes that are coming in the world politically, environmentally, technologically, in the publishing world, all sorts of stuff. Yeah, that can all influence you. Maybe something that I do with Finn will teach me something that will be interpreted into some characterization in future books. OPGO, as you know, is also written, so I'm in the finalizing of that as well. I mean, Lucent Rise is being edited and proofread and packaged, so OPGO has already been written as well, and I've been kind of in the process of letting that set so that when I go back and read it, I have completely fresh eyes and have become unattached enough to the narrative that I can look at it, you know, really look at it without that attachment, and I can let go of superfluous stuff, which, you know, can tend to be a problem for an author because they think, oh, every word needs to be in there because that perfectly expresses what I'm trying to express. That's why I wrote it that way. I totally get that, you know. So sometimes it's a little hard to let go, but, you know, we have editors to help us do that, and I'm so thankful for them. But as far as changing any of my upcoming works, I don't think so, because Claire, you know, is in a relationship with Karsten, and we have to find out where that's going, and they're not parents, and they're not in a real solid relationship because of what's going on with him and the war. As far as Captain Mael, as you know, her marriage is disintegrating around her, and she has these children, so she's becoming a single parent, having had a seemingly solid relationship prior to. So we have to see after that, because if Trilogia continues, it's likely going to be the Agar Chronicles. Spoiler alert! We'll be going to Agarsha and our little blue buddies, and we'll see how I write them, because they're not human. So writing them with human desires and stuff may not serve them well, but you know, there's always something that's pretty universal with life, and I think parenting relationships, friendships, etc. are pretty universal things, whether you want to become a parent or not, whether you want to have a relationship or not, and the things that drive us biologically, you know, socially, etc. are pretty genetic, actually. So higher beings, I would assume higher technology, alien race, you're not going to be too far off from us on a social scale. Maybe a little bit more empathetic. maybe not, you know. So there's room to explore a lot in there that doesn't necessarily have to do with parenting. So we'll see. Thanks for listening. If you'd like to support this site, make sure you buy a copy of one of my books. You can get it on Kindle or paperback from Amazon. And the Kindles are $2.99 each, which is not a huge cost. That's less than a cup of coffee. And that would help me out a lot. Subscribe to the channel. That'll also help me out. And make sure you share me with your friends. And I will see you again soon next month. Thanks.